No one should be at the beach. And if I have to take action to prevent people from going to the beach, I will. People will die if Victorians act in that way.
From the land down under, with the rock at its centre, comes the little Aussie watchman. It has been a rough trot for us poor comrades stuck in Victoria, Australia, or what is now becoming known as Danistan, a name derived from its illustrious supreme leader, Dan Andrews, a leader whose leftist tendencies seem to have now blossomed into ever-increasing government largess and control of society. First, it was the bushfires, and the usual blame game given to climate change, of course, had nothing to do with the pitiful lack of burn-off following a long, hot, dry period of multiple years. And then COVID. This plague reared its ugly head in late March of this year, and Australia quickly stepped into gear, closing its borders, and the numbers were reined in. So what happened in Danistan to awaken our dear leader's authoritarian tendencies? Well, it was initially a slow rise, which lately has catapulted into insanity. Not that I myself was particularly concerned at the start. Yes, I believe the elimination strategy embarked on by Australia as a whole, and Victoria in particular, was fundamentally flawed. A flaw that only a very effective vaccine could transform into a brilliant strategy. A flaw? Elimination instead of containment of the virus as a whole myriad of unintended consequences that render the patient worse off than the disease. But I digress. COVID was an unknown quantity. Australia was able to afford an extended lockdown, and who was I to question the sanity of trying our very best to protect the most infirm in society while punishing the healthy, causing emotional trauma to the lonely, and transforming society into a post-apocalyptic science fiction movie. All this was preceded by a rapid rise in cases and deaths in my beloved Danistan, i.e. Victoria, Australia, in late July. And then it hit stage 4 lockdown. Masks to be worn by everyone outside of their homes except in their car. No one allowed further than 5 kilometres from their living area, except for essential service members, and all non-essential working must cease. Only 5 people from 2 households can be gathered together outside at one time. The rules are many and varied and worse than I can explain in a short video. Was it effective? Absolutely, no doubt about it. The spread of coronavirus came to a screaming halt. Of course, the numbers are still minuscule compared to other places in the world, but fear of the disease is at exponentially high levels. There are currently 358 active cases in Victoria, with 15 new cases today. And guess what? We are still living in a totalitarian lockdown. I live in a country town of 100,000 people with no active cases at all, and we are still mandated to wear masks. We are not allowed to travel to other states. The trouble with the elimination strategy is, what happens if you can't eliminate it? What happens if it comes back? Are we cursed to remain locked down and wearing masks forever? Of course, eventually so much political pressure will come to bear, and the people will revolt that the state will have to change course. But in the meantime, in beloved Danistan, we are still largely following the rules, but cracks are starting to appear, as shown here.
How good is this shot of warm weather? And here at St Kilda, they are gathering in the hundreds. Remember though, you can't come across town to enjoy time at the beach with your friends. The rules are still in place. You should still wear a mask, you should stay just 5 kilometres from home, and you should only be in groups of no more than 5 people from 2 households. The people here, they're in their hundreds, and this is just an idea of what Melbourne might expect over the weekend as it warms up even more.
A warm day ahead of an even warmer weekend. Melburnians soaked in their 2 hours outside at a packed Williamstown and an hour ago at Port Melbourne. Many not wearing masks. The Premier pleading for us to stick to the rules.
Will those cracks widen as the healthy young population start to disobey the mandates from a supreme leader who is now becoming more and more out of touch with his subject? Time will tell. but given that he recently threw his health minister and staffers under the bus for poor decisions that he was likely a party of, his popularity is starting to dwindle. What is the response of a left-leaning politician under attack for lying to the people? It is to crack down even harder on those under purview. Fines for not wearing masks are slated to increase from its current $200. The fine for being found outside your 5-kilometre prison of $1,652 is also to be raised. May freedom come, and come quickly.